Hello class! Today you were assigned a project to end our trigonometry unit. For this project you will pick two math problems from the topics we have talked about in this unit. You will then create a video explaining and showing the step-by-step process on how to complete each problem that you have chosen. Be sure to follow the rubric guidelines that I have given to you in class. There are many ways to go about making this video, so be creative and have fun with it. Here is my example to get your creative juices flowing. Problem 1, we are given a right triangle. We know this is a right triangle because of the square that we have in the corner. This square tells us that the measure of this angle is 90 degrees. We are also given the hypotenuse measure. We know this is the hypotenuse because it is the side opposite of the 90-degree angle. We know it is 5 inches. We are also given one of the sides, the measures of the legs, which is 3 inches. We are trying to find the third side, which tells us we are going to use the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know that a squared is 3 and c squared is 5. We know this because c squared is the hypotenuse and a is one of the legs. So we will plug 3 in for A and 5 in for C to get 3 squared plus B squared equals 5 squared. We know that 3 squared is 9 and 5 squared is 25, so we will get 9 plus B squared equals 25. Next, we need to get all the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other side. So we will subtract 9 from both sides to get B squared equals 25 minus 9. Once we subtract 25 minus 9, we will get b squared equals 16. But we are trying to find b, not b squared. So we need to take the square root of both sides to undo the squaring into b squared. When we do this, we will get b equals the square root of 16, which we know is 4. So the answer to this question is 4 inches. In problem 2, we are given another right triangle. We know that this is a right triangle because of the square in the corner. This time, however, we are not given two sides, the measure of two sides. Instead, we are given the measure of one side and the measure of an angle. We are trying to find a measure of a second side, x, which we know is the hypotenuse. We know that we cannot use the Pythagorean theorem for this, so we must use SO, CA, or TOA. SO is sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. CA is cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And TOA is tangent equals opposite over adjacent. We need to find x, which we know is the hypotenuse, so we need to figure out which of these ones has the hypotenuse. Since tangent does not have the hypotenuse, we will not use tangent, so we need to either use SO or CA. We know that we will use cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Because we know we have the hypotenuse and as well as the adjacent side to the angle measure that we are given, we know that we are going to use cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So we know that the cosine of 60 degrees is equal to the adjacent side, which is 6, over the hypotenuse, which is x. We know that the cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2, so we know that 1/2 equals 6 over x. Now, in order to solve this, we must cross multiply by 1 times x and 2 times 6. This will give us 1x equals 12, which tells us that x equals 12. So the answer to this problem is 12 centimeters.
Now it's your turn to make your project. Can't wait to watch!